I'm going to leave the national camera on just to, hi everybody, we're getting ready for the show, so this is just a few more minutes to go, we just didn't want to run late. 3 minutes to go, Helen is in the house. This is the beginning of a radio career. One day she's going to be like, who's Power Radio? That's your have it. How do you say Carla's last name? Maricini. Get ready. Two minutes till we are. Cameras can. So it's something wrong with our class. I'm so happy. Normally I don't need it, but this mid-range I can read everything. Michael Jackson, remember that time? RJ. Yeah. Drexler. Yeah. They can only see us. The good thing is they see us from here up. You guys practicing flossing? Yeah, you got a dance party. One of my team's flosser. Ask Terry to tag. You're all on your text. Yeah. Have Henry tag us. Who doesn't? Right now.
Hello. Checking. Mm-hmm. Hello and welcome to Boost Power Radio. This is show number 5 and the crowd goes wild. Woo!
Welcome to Boost Power Radio. We are so excited.
I'm Betsy Wiersma.
And I'm Rhonda Shea.
And today you're listening to a podcast format of a radio show that brings you ways for women to plug in for uplifting ideas from super cool guests from all around where we support you in your world, sister style. We're here for you to deliver interviews with choice points and understanding the lessons from the road that are really helpful for you. And you're going to learn something new while we always have fun.
That's right. We always do have fun. And also, we have a great segment called You Thought You Knew. And today it's with one of our biggest charity partners, the United Way. And with us is Carla, I'm going to say Maricini, to share her story.
Right. And starting first up, we have the CEO of Delta Dental, Helen Drexler. She is hot off chairing the United Way luncheon, which we were talking about in previous shows. She was a superstar success, over gold. Amen. And the crowd goes wild. So she's our very first interview. And we're always going to have good times, Rhonda.
Well, and we're going to have some good news because I think, did you mention Sue Lee?
No, I was going to let you mention Sue Lee.
Okay, because we love Sue Lee. She is from the Sock It To Me Sock campaign, which helps
and works with homeless people across the area where people can donate socks.
Yes,
And that's one of the biggest needs for the homeless is socks.
For men, women, children. So let's get this show rolling with our very first interview.
That's right. So join us for the good times in our community and our partners, and let's get going with Helen.
Helen, and the crowd goes wild.
Yay! I love Helen. I'm telling you it right now. I'll tell you why later.
Thank you for so many reasons. Thank you for supporting the Camp Experience Network.
You're welcome.
And thank you for all the good works in the community and being a woman CEO, showing us all how to lead with style.
That's right. She does that.
I love that. So welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So, Rhonda, I think you're going to.
I am going to interview Helen. I was just want to make sure everyone jump on you.
No, I was just on my praise.
I know we're all praising her. Helen, I think Delta Dental has been around for 60 years. Is that correct?
We are celebrating our 60th birthday this year.
That's awesome. One of the things I've used Delta Dental and I loved it, by the way. And one of the things, and I know that we're going to talk a little about community involvement because that's terrific with Delta Dental. But before we even start, I think one of the things that before I became a member and used Delta Dental, I didn't realize how broad the program was and how many options we have and how many great people were involved in it. So would you just mention a little bit about your plan? And people can purchase this one if you don't have it for your company and it's affordable.
It's very affordable. Dental insurance is really important, and we do know that people with dental insurance are more likely to see the dentist. Our products are very affordable, but I think what's most important is you have very broad options in terms of a dental network, options in terms of the plans and the price points. So it's a great program. We're the leading dental insurance company in the state of Colorado, and we today provide dental insurance to 1.35 million people.
Wow. So you're a nonprofit, correct?
And we are a nonprofit insurance company, which many people, I think, don't even realize that Delta Dental is.
And you put a lot back into the community. So let's talk a little bit about some of the initiatives that I know Delta Dental has to bring oral health to rural areas, to people who may not normally have access to at-risk populations. I understand that's an initiative your foundation has.
So yes, our insurance company, Delta Dental Colorado, is also very proud to be the sole funder of the Delta Dental Colorado Foundation. And that foundation is doing a lot across the state to really meet communities where they are and understand their oral health needs. I think the one program that I'm most proud of is our dental medical integration pilot. So we have been sponsoring hygienists in medical clinics or school clinics because the mouth is in the body, and we want you to take care of that entire person, not just one part.
Well, and there's a lot of things that the dentists can pick up that are related to. They are doctors, and they go to medical school. They're not just people who got a drill and a water pick.
And they always love brushing.
But they do go to medical school and they learn more about the mouth than perhaps even a general doctor. So they can tell things. And I know when I was pregnant, didn't know because I didn't go to the doctor for a while. My dentist was one of the first people that said, "You're pregnant," because my gums were bleeding, and he could tell by something going on with my teeth.
That is amazing. Yeah. Dentists can find a lot of things. So can hygienists. We've had a couple of amazing stories that we found through our word of mouth campaign. We had two women who had thyroid cancer diagnosed by their hygienist. Now the hygienist can't actually do a diagnosis, but they saw something in the mouth that told them there was something there. And they encouraged them to go see their physician, and they were both actually stage 3 thyroid cancer.
Wow. I would save their lives.
I have noticed that in these, the new phase of dental that has so much more technology, but they do stop and they do all those exams and they feel the gums and all that. And I think it's so wonderful to integrate those screenings when you're doing kind of the basic cleaning, but also you can really beyond.
You can find a lot of things in that screening. And my most personal and intimate story is that my son at 26 ended up in stage 5 kidney disease. If his dentist had taken his blood pressure, we actually might have found his autoimmune disease early. So more and more dentists now are in fact integrating things like blood pressure into their screening, and I think that's
makes
really
sense
wonderful.
because people go to the dentist sometimes more frequently, or at least even if you don't go more often, you may be there in an off time and you wouldn't be going to the doctor. So that's an incredible initiative, and I think it's a great one. So thank you on behalf of the community. Now tell me a little bit about because I mentioned before I work at Camp Wapi in my day job, and we were lucky enough to be the recipient of your ideal campaign, one of the recipients.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We were just moved to Tours, so it was such a surprise. I mean, and I know that's your employee giving campaign. And when they explained how that happened, I thought, what a great company to work for. What an incredible organization that chose this way to give, not just to us, but to so many people. So would you explain how that works with you?
I love the Delta Dental Colorado I Give campaign. And when I first started with the company and heard about it, I said, oh, we need to do that again. So because it is our 60th anniversary, and we have about 185 employees, we said we're going to give every employee $600 that they can give to one of 10 charities. 5 of those charities were selected by Delta Dental Colorado Foundation, and the other 5 charities were actually nominated by our employees. And so then we presented the 10 charities to our employees, and they were able to say, I want to give my 600 to this charity or that charity. And the donations added up. We had a leaderboard, so we were kind of tracking where the money was going to, and the employees really get into it.
We had a big party, and
big
gave
party,
us a check.
yeah, big checks.
Big giant. I have it in my garage. We're going to bring it up to camp and have the kids hold it, and then send it back to you guys. So thank you. I know we thanked you before, but and not just for me, because the organizations, there are so many of them, and some are small, and they like Wapi-Api, and some are large, but they needed the money so badly. And so what a great thing to do, and how cool to involve your employees and make them feel so much a part of the company.
And I think we can teach anyone to be a philanthropist. That's the part that I'm really passionate about, right? People think of philanthropists as people who give millions and multi-millions, but you can be a philanthropist in your own way, whether it's the $600 that we give you to pledge or money out of your own pocket.
Every $5 helps. Yes. Now, how did you, you're a CEO of a major corporation. You don't often see women, you do more now, but you don't often see women leading, especially medical and more scientific type organizations. So how did this happen?
Yeah.
Tell us about your background.
Magic. Because a lot of women out there are like, yeah, I want what she's having.
Yeah, we want it.
I get to be a CEO.
I want to be a CEO.
What's the magic secret? Helen. Here's Helen with the
magic secret.
We all say we want to be a CEO until we have to deal with the problem.
Until we understand your real job, and then you go, okay, here's
never
the
mind.
good news. Yeah.
So it's really interesting. I was thinking about this question a little bit this morning. I didn't set out in my career to be a CEO. I really didn't. In fact, I didn't even think that was possible. I did set out to be the best leader I could be. And so my journey into becoming a CEO was actually somewhat serendipitous in that my son's kidney disease happened just at literally the same time that I received the first call from the search committee of the board looking for a CEO. I also knew that the prior CEO, who was also a woman, was someone I highly admired, and I knew that she was the leader of a nonprofit organization and had done amazing things in the community. I wasn't even going to throw my hat in the ring because of the health crisis that our family was dealing with. And I'm very proud to say it was my son, who I think I may have raised to be a feminist, who told me, oh, heck yeah, Mom, you've got to apply for that job. So it wasn't that I was doing anything in particular, but the one thing I would say to your listeners is I went into that interview as authentic as I could be, knowing that I had to let them know who I was, and they either wanted me or they didn't. And if they didn't, that was fine. But if they did, I wanted them to want the person I presented, and I wanted that person to be real and authentic. And I didn't want to exaggerate on skills or abilities. I just wanted to be myself.
That's great advice. That's wonderful advice, actually. Because once you do that, you're kind of stuck in that role, and you have to keep doing that. That's awesome. Well, now we kind of mentioned this, but is there anything particularly new in your field that you want to talk about?
I really think the new part of my field, which is beyond dental insurance, is really understanding the connections between oral health and overall health. Frankly, when I was growing up, and I did have a lot of cavities, I never understood that a cavity was treatment for a disease. Tooth decay, called caries, it's the medical term or the clinical term for tooth decay, is actually a disease. It is the most common chronic disease in children, and it is 100% preventable. And when you think about healthcare or oral healthcare through that lens, you understand we have a lot of work to do in terms of education. So Halloween's coming up. Your kids are going to probably be coming home with a lot of candy. It is so important before they go to bed after eating all that sugar that they brush for 2 minutes. And even 2 minutes for adults, I think we don't realize that it has to be 2 minutes.
That's great. You don't think of it as a disease. I didn't either. I just think of it like, oh, you got a cavity, ate too much candy.
Right. Yeah, but I think it's really interesting about motivating people to brush, because I have a teenager, and one of the things she would do to rebel is not brush her teeth. She would say, you can't make me brush my teeth. And we would say, what does your 25-year-old self want to say to your 15-year-old self? You know, when you want to have beautiful teeth and you want to have a wonderful smile and all that. Like, it's like, Sarah, this is the easiest thing you can do.
Well, and it really does impact your health. I mean, we just hosted Mary Otto, the author of the book Teeth, which talks a lot about oral health equity in the United States. And there are children who have died in our country from an untreated abscess.
It gets to your heart. It can do all kinds
Of things. So it is far more important than I think we realize. And our mission is really to improve oral health for everyone.
Good. Well, let me ask you a question. There are times, obviously, when things are tough. And was there a time in your life where things were just kind of tough or overwhelming? And what choices did you make what did you learn from that?
So I've had a number of tough times throughout my career, a couple in particular that come to mind. And I will tell you the one thing that I learned through probably the most difficult time in my career, which was when I had a job that I really wasn't suited for. I was in a role that I wasn't passionate about, and I really needed more help. I did not raise my hand and ask for help. I thought, I can do this myself. I can dig out of this mess. If I just work harder, if I just put in more hours, I will overcome this. And what I should have done and what I learned was, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be in over your head. You must raise your hand and ask for help.
That's great advice. And then one more thing. What is your global statement to women in the world? Because there's a lot of women and men listening, but there's a lot of people listening that, I mean, let's face it, this title, this job is impressive. It's something that young women aspire to. So what would be your advice to women?
So I really believe that investment and focus on women and girls is the best thing we can do for the global world and society. When girls and women thrive, societies rise. It's just fact-based. I would say to women and girls across the globe, know what your dream is, know what your passion is, never give up, and be incredibly tenacious. Don't let anyone else get in your way.
That's the truth. And then we have one more thing, and it's really kind of fun. We have this girlfriend. Go ask your girlfriend card deck, and you can pick a card randomly, and then answer. And there's no right or wrong answer.
Okay.
It's just goofy. You might get something really silly.
Let's see. We'll go in here.
It's all random.
It's all random.
Here we
Not
go.
pre-picked. What did you get?
I got
ask
one
your
with way
girlfriend
too
card.
many. Yeah, I got way too many words on a page. Wild card. Ask any question you want.
Oh, answer any question you want.
I'll go for another one. Way too hard. It's too early on the Saturday. What is one of my most memorable experiences?
Oh, there you go.
This is awesome. I would say being in London with my only son when he proposed to his now wife, who was my daughter-in-law, Kristen, and just being a part of that experience in London was amazing.
That is awesome. Where do they do that in London?
Well, actually, he wouldn't let me go to watch, but he found what is considered the most romantic park in London. I don't know exactly where it is.
All right.
But he walked her to the park and had made her a little book and got down on one knee and surprised
how sweet
her.
is that?
The funniest part was there was actually a cat meandering through their legs as they were talking and as he was proposing, and they both love cats. And there was a man on a bench that was taking pictures, but they didn't know who the man was.
Yeah.
So when they came back and she had the ring and she said, "Oh, I'm so excited," I said, "Well, did you ask the man if he would send you the photos?" And they were like, "No, we were too excited. We were too nervous." So there's a strange man out there in the world who took pictures of my son's proposal.
Probably on a billboard somewhere.
So cat must be the messenger of love or something when you look up what does cat mean.
Well, Helen, once again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you for everything that your organization does for the community. We appreciate it. And folks, if you haven't got dental insurance or your company's looking to get some,
Go to
DeltaDental.com.
Yeah, or you individually. Individuals
They're
also.
the best.
They're really going to help you keep your oral health and keep your overall
I
health.
hope you come back and visit us again.
Well, thank you,
We
ladies.
will love to have you back, and we hope the next best experience is being on Moose Power Radio.
That's right.
That's right, the best experience today.
There you go. We'll take best experience today.
That's right. We'll take that.
Well, see, this is why we do this show, because people like Helen, who are real people, like we make up this thing.
I know.
They're so important. They're so big. She's a real deal, and it's so cool to hear the story behind the story, right? Like, how do you get to be a CEO?
Right. How you get to be a
You
CEO.
learn to ask for help. Like, imagine that that's how you get to be a CEO. And I think that's what we want this whole show to do for all of you, is to just help expose you to all walks
I
of
don't
life.
think expose is the right word.
Okay, help show you,
Betsy.
help tell you, not expose like in a way,
She's
but,
like,
help show you the way. Okay,
show
so
you
better.
the way. Yeah.
We'll
Just
audio you the way.
I think
Well,
it's to help make you think differently and to
There you go.
inspire you and to make you realize that the people who are doing these things, these jobs, these incredible jobs, and getting up in the community are just like you and me. They're no different than you. They're no different than your child. They're no different than my child. They're just people who kept going and were determined and believed in themselves enough to make it happen. And so that's the message: believe in yourself.
yes, and the other message I think you could see was the style points of Helen's leadership
Oh,
and
fantastic.
how authentic she is and loving she is, and that permeates into her
Right.
investing
Authentic
into her
leadership.
employees.
There is nothing better than authentic leadership. It makes the best CEOs, the best bosses I've ever had when I was a boss, as well. Being authentic with the employees and the leaders.
And speaking of authentic, who is the coolest person that works at Mile High United Way?
Oh,
I know you're going to say Christine, but I'm saying Christine has got a lot of style points, but more style points would be our guest today,
I think it's Carla.
Carla Marasini.
There she
Welcome to Blues Power Radio.
I'm so excited.
United Way is so cool.
Well, we think you are so cool, and you personally have done so much for Denver and for Colorado, so I just want to brag on you a little bit. So this isn't Carla's first rodeo. She has been serving really big with the governors. She has been winning awards for all of her work in the community, putting together programs and service to so many populations. She is now lucky enough to be a vice president at Mile High United Way, doing community impact, which means you're in the trenches, being sure that the good gets going, gets done.
I surround myself with amazing people who do this.
So welcome to Blues Power Radio. We're so happy to have you.
Jess, and thank you for everything you do for our community.
Oh, thank you for all the support that you've given us so that we can do it.
Well, this is why we bring on people. This segment is called You've Got Me Moved. Because I'd like you to tell a little bit about what's happening in Denver, right? I was getting exposed through all the wonderful lunch and learns at United Way about just like the first 18 months of early childhood and how important it is and funding. So just would you give our listeners a little snapshot about what's happening in Denver with children and families?
Absolutely.
And I'm just going to jump in from once in a while, look at the camera.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so
Let's bump this.
and there's an international audience.
That's
We're
right.
looking at you, so say hello to Carla.
Say bonjour.
Yeah, and all the other ciao and everything else.
So Denver is an amazing community. In so many ways, we're economically thriving. And you can't look anywhere in Denver and not see at least a building cranes in on site.
The
There's
official
so much
bird
going on.
is the crane.
Absolutely.
Denver.
Yeah.
That's right.
Denver is an amazing community. The entire metro area is amazing. But what most people don't understand is that there are many in our community who are not thriving along with everyone else. That there are still neighborhoods, many areas in Denver, where people are struggling on a daily basis. So we know that about 1 in 3 children struggles to afford to have lunch every single day. That we have families who are...
And it's right here in Denver metro area.
Yes. And we know that while we support all families who are struggling, but we know the importance of early childhood education and development. It is so critical to our community. So 85 to 90% of a child's families develop by the age of 5. So we know that if we can intervene with families and provide supports and help to empower them to have a more stable home life, that we can empower child development to be the best that it can be. So we do a lot of work there. I think that Denver is an amazing community because when we have work that we are able to do, our community benefits us. We do a lot of work to make sure that we build trust with their neighborhood and we empower them to be their own leaders. So it's an exciting time in Denver to talk about the
And I think as Denver has grown so rapidly, the cost of living has gone up just by hundreds of percent over the past few years. We're seeing more people that are in those situations that wouldn't be, but everything has changed so rapidly.
Well, right, you learned at United Way about people, the developers come in and buy those older homes, and they get the people the big lumps of money, but then they don't have a place to go.
Well, in affordable housing, transportation, and childcare are the 3 top issues that families tell us they struggle with all the time. And what happens really frequently is because they are unable to find affordable housing in the immediate Denver area, they start to move further and further and further out, farther away from their home communities, farther away from their support network, farther away from their children's initial elementary school. They often change schools. otherwise than their own jobs. If they don't have reliable transportation, they don't get to their jobs. So it's kind of a cyclical, unfortunate situation that they find themselves in.
And this is affecting a lot of families. A lot of families. And that's an elderly. I think you're seeing probably some increase in that because when the apartment rent goes from $800 a month to $1,800 a month, and your Social Security doesn't get a raise.
Fixed income. Yeah. Single mom. Also, very, very, well, any single parent. If you want to clarify, tends to be that we see more single moms struggling with this than others. And it also prevents them from doing unexpected things that affect them in their situation.
So tell everybody just a little bit, like we assume everyone knows what United Way is, but tell them about Frances and starting United Way, what United Way is. Because I think, again, like you did with Delta Dental, not everyone really understands the breadth of what you do.
Mile High United Way is amazing. So for those of you who don't know, Mile High United Way was the very first United Way in the entire world. So it was founded in Denver 131 years ago by a woman, Frances Weisbach Jacobs, a priest, 2 ministers, and a rabbi. And they realized that if you unite people, ideas, and resources, you can advance the common good more effectively. So we have 4 major areas that we work in the community, and we really focus our mission on making sure that all families have access to that. So the first is making sure that all children have a strong start. So again, making sure that early childhood education and early childhood development is very well supported, that people have access to what they need, not just in out-of-home care, but also in the home. Early literacy is another one of our major focus areas. So making sure that children can read at a level by 3rd grade. It is an enormous predictor of their future successes. And so the more we can support them to have those really strong literacy skills at that time, the better off they're going to be. 3rd grade is critical because that is when you transition from learning how to read to reading to learn. So it's a really critical time.
That's interesting.
Developing tomorrow's talents, which is a very fancy way of saying young person workforce development and education. So ensuring that young people from a very early age are exposed to occupations, have at least opportunities for paths, both in education throughout high school and beyond, whatever that looks like for them, or being able to graduate on time and then enter the workforce ready to work. And then our 4th major pillar is making sure that all families have economic mobility, that they can be stable, that they can build assets, that they are not living in toxic debt and all of those things. And we really put a lot of time and energy and resources into this sport.
Well, you can see why Camp Experience Network is so proud to have partnered with you all 13 years and to continue to support you financially and also with their volunteer hours and time. Thank you.
I'm going to interrupt you a minute.
Yeah.
Because she should brag just a little bit about where you are.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I think there's no time for that in this segment because now we're
I think you can make time.
So Women United is a newer initiative that we have. So Women United has actually been around for 20 years, but the Women United initiative is just over a year old. And Betsy has been one of our lead champions. You've been terribly supporting as well, Rob. Helen, who was just in here, is a member as well. In its very first year for this new initiative, we raised $140,000.
Yay!
It's amazing. And we were able to invest that in our community partners that work exclusively with women and children, or women and young girls. So empowering them, being able to help support them move towards their dreams and their goals, be able to support their family. We very recently invested an additional small amount into doing in-person innovative work that they're doing. The Women United initiative is amazing, and the Camp Experience has been such an incredible vehicle for us to help them.
Well, thank you for that call out. That was great.
And one last thing,
Ladies,
Betsy I think it was just last month, received our Frances Weisbach Jacobs Award. So because she exemplified the spirit of uniting people and making sure that women are empowered.
But my point out was that Frances did that all in one of those beautiful dresses with all the layers.
I know.
I'm like, she was the best volunteer in town, and she had to wear the clothes at a time. I
Yeah.
can wear a good stretch pants and get going. You know,
I like Calamity Jane. You
a little
like cowboy
yoga
hat
wear,
and pants.
right? I can raise money in yoga wear all day long. Well, Carla, we always ask, like, when times are tough, so you have been dedicated to our community forever, working with John Hickenlooper, I know, and winning all kinds of awards. But when times are tough, what are the skills that you personally use and that you would share with women and men that are listening about what you've learned in your journey?
Yeah, I have learned that everything takes time. And so when things are really difficult and I see problems and I want to immediately just infuse a solution and make it better, just fix it. It's not that simple. And you do have to be patient. You know, poverty is complex. The challenges in our society are complex. And so just being able to recognize that patience truly is a virtue, as difficult as it can be, and relying on the support of others.
Don't be afraid to ask if you need help.
Absolutely.
Or accept it.
Yeah. I love this community. I do this work because I am so drawn to my family, which is my community. And I can't do this work alone. It takes all of us. And so I think both learning to be patient and always learning that I can ask for help.
Well, I think this goes back to camp experience, Betsy, because it's sisterhood by choice. And that's what this is.
Okay, but can I say the very fun fact that you shared with us?
Yeah.
That not only do you see Carla's style in how she leads, in her personality, in her darling hat, but she also shared with us that she has dyed her hair nearly every color of the rainbow.
Yeah, that's awesome. The only one I haven't done is yellow, because I know I would look like it.
Yes. No yellow hair. Don't eat yellow snow and do not dye yellow hair. I'm going to go with both of them. So we asked you to say your global statement to women. And this is just like if people are listening to kind of conclude what you've learned and in your service style, what would you say to women that are saying, okay, Carla, give me what you got?
Be bold and be kind.
Always. Two very, very good ones. Okay, so now we get to do your fun girlfriend thing. So this is random. And as you know, we just warned you. We have no control of what these cards
I'm
find
going to summarize your statement in one of my favorite sayings that I put together, which is kick some be kind.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to use that. I like that. All right, so any card here.
I think that covers the bold and the kind, Rhonda, in one way. Okay.
So any question on the card?
Yeah, it looks like you got a lot. Don't do that.
Okay.
That's too much. Like Helen said.
Okay, given 24 hours all by yourself and money is no object, what would you do? I would swoop up my mom and take her just around the world. We travel well together. We are great traveling companions. And she's my favorite person to be around.
That's awesome.
Yay. Well, see, I think that even just speaks to who you are. That in your moment of unconditional money and unconditional time, you would pick your mom. And I think every mom out there is like, I want what she's having. Again,
yeah, I know.
Again, I want what she's having. I want my daughter to say that again. And your daughter's probably already say
well,
that.
They're older than 22. There's not a kid in the world worth anything between 12 and 22. Remember that.
I love you, Sarah. And just turn into 22 and say what Carla said.
And that's what'll happen.
Well, we continue supporting United Way, and we are so excited about the holiday party, which is coming up. You want to talk just a little bit about that, because I'll just take that out of our good time segment.
Absolutely. Our holiday party is amazing. We actually throw one heck of a bash. So we make sure that anybody in the community who needs to have a place to come and celebrate the holidays together and perhaps receive an opportunity to kind of shop for their children for gifts, and the children can also shop for their parents for gifts, are able to come in and just have a really good time. We need a lot of volunteers to make this happen. But it is worth it. It's absolutely a great time. It's at Mile High Midway, located at 711 Park Avenue West. So if you're in the Denver metro area and you want to come by, our details are on our website. It's final payment today, but our website is unitedwaydenver.com.
Yes, it's also on the campexperience.com website. So we thank you, Carla, for coming and being such a great guest.
Carla.
Thank you so much for having me.
We can't wait to have you back and all the compadres from United Way. Just keep sharing with what's happening.
All the good news in Denver and all the wonderful things that you're doing and all the people that are a part of it, whether it's through workplace giving or through a number of ways that you can be a part of this. Many companies, right? Join. So if your company's considering it, give them a call.
You want to do good and have fun, do it with United Way. So we'll say.
And thank you not only for your support, but thank you for what you are doing to empower women as well.
Yes, thank you. That was Carla Miracini, and the crowd goes wild again. Whoa!
It sounds like it should be an orchestra, the Miracini Orchestra.
It could be.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, it's just such a really cool
Or a
name.
restaurant.
And if you hang out with Carla, you would know she's awesome.
She's cool. I like her
fun.
tattoos.
She's got great style. She's beautiful art everywhere in her life. Who she is and what she is.
I just think it should be a restaurant or an orchestra. I'm going to go to Marcine.
Yeah, it could be a good restaurant. We could tell her maybe that's something she could do on the side.
Yeah, like she's not busy enough.
Saving Denver.
She could take her Italian mother and have her cook.
I don't know. And then she can have a hair salon in the back and dye people's hair.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Every color but yellow.
Change your life now. Okay.
Every color but yellow. And I think
Or
what
she
you
could
can
stay at the
see,
United Way and just do good.
you can see that someone like Carla, who's been dedicated to Governor Hickenlooper's, and she
Yeah.
served with him.
Yeah.
She has been putting together deals for kids in this community forever.
She is an amazing woman, and we are thrilled to have her here, like all of the women who have been our guests. And one of them is just sliding in now. You can, we don't touch the table today. Who is just sliding in now, which is Sue Lee.
So I want to tell a good story about our next guest as she's sliding in now. So I met her in my bathing suit.
Okay.
And I know you're all out there saying, what? Are you revealing a new secret?
I'm just surprised any of us
Am I
would put on a
exposing
bathing
the
suit,
truth about Sue Lee? I'm exposing the truth about Sue Lee. I was in my bathing suit because I was doing water aerobics and she was teaching and I was before my first hip replacement and I only could do water aerobics for exercise because of pain in my hip. And my teacher was Sue Lee and she was loving and inspiring and it's the first time I got to be exposed to her brilliance. So welcome our guest, Sue Lee.
I'm going to just remind everybody to look at the cameras occasionally and just kind of talk to them.
Say hello to your international
If we
audience.
talk like
Hello,
this,
everybody.
we talk like this, our microphone can work as well.
So we are talking to all of you. So Rhonda's going to interview you, but I just wanted to say that of all the inspirational people that I've ever met, Sue combined visionary leadership with really on the ground getting it done.
Yep.
And you're going to hear the story of the Soccer to Sock campaign. That is a huge part of Camp Experience Network. And so let's get into our interview with Sue Lee.
Sue, first of all, thank you for everything you do. I had the privilege of working for organizations that work with homeless and then going out and to the point in time and those types of things. And I know that this initiative is absolutely incredible in what it does for the people in our community. So would you just tell a little bit about the initiative, about the organization, and how you can help us?
Thank you. So I'm thrilled to be here. So thank you for what you all do and that we can boost things out there to the public. So it began in 2011. I was shopping at the grocery store and for Thanksgiving dinner Tuesday night. And like all of you out there, when you're shopping for Thanksgiving dinner, all you're thinking about is Thanksgiving and the food and, cleaning your house. And just like that, printed in my head, yellow block letters with a red outline. It said Soccer to Sock campaign, socks for homeless. And I thought, I don't know anything about the homeless. I don't know anything about socks. But it kept going like a marquee in my head. So I called my friend Phyllis and I said, you won't believe what happened. I said, let's collect socks between now and the end of December and ask all our girlfriends to do so. And that's what we did. In that first year, we got 575 pairs of socks.
Wow.
And the first week in January, we went down to 3 shelters in Denver, and that's how it all started.
That's amazing. And it went quick, didn't it? Because socks are like one of the number one things that the homeless folks need.
It's the number one thing. And I'll never forget that first time. We didn't have any idea that we were going to keep doing this. And as we were taking the socks out of the back of our car, some men on the street who were experiencing homelessness came walking up and went, socks, because they could see that we had socks. And they're going, do you have socks? Oh my goodness, I need socks. And then the people working there at the Denver Rescue Mission said, wait till they get them inside. You're going to come get your socks. And then they told us it was the number one program.
And for families as well, because there's, tell us a little bit about the people experiencing homeless in the Metro Denver area.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty shocking.
well, one of the things that people don't realize is that most of the homeless really are homeless.
Yes.
And so we have all of these families. Some of them are married couples with kids. A lot of them are single moms. And they might be living in little teeny hotels along Colfax or wherever, certain places where there's a lot of these motels where they can try to get 3, 4, 5 families into a room. And it's a significant number of the homeless. More than half the homeless are families.
And you don't see the families because they stay a little more hidden because they're trying to keep their children safe,
Yes.
which is a really hard thing to do in places where they have to live.
It's very hard. And we call those children are often called couch children. Because if you think about it yourself, that you want the best thing happen for your kids, that you might then go to your girlfriends and say, can you please let my kids sleep on your couch?
Right.
You know, or sleep on the floor
Couch
or whatever.
surfing, yes.
And so a lot of the parents might be staying in a car or staying in a motel, and those children go to school. Their kids, like everybody else out there, the children go to school, and they need socks. So one of the things that we're doing, a big initiative that we're doing, is sock throws in Title I schools.
That's awesome.
It's so exciting. And too, I love the visual because I saw, of course, some of your posts on social media, which you can follow the Soccer Two and Soccer Green, and see you and Phyllis doing lots of Facebook Live and really sharing with us this journey. But I noticed that the plastic bins, the real sock drawer, that you're filling those up, and it feels just, just like at home, that we go and have plenty of socks, and these kids now in the schools can go and actually open the sock drawer.
Yes, that's a big deal because one of the things we've always said from the get-go when they hit us about the need for socks is that you have a sock drawer, I have a sock drawer. But these citizens, these fellow citizens, men, women, and children, they don't have a sock drawer. We need to be their sock drawer.
And they wear them until they're wet and dirty. And they get all kinds of. When I worked at Regis University, our nursing program, by the way, I don't know if you've ever worked with them at Rutgers Hartman, the nurses will go out under the bridges and treat people's feet. Because it's one of the most horrible things. And I mean, like, they'll treat them and they're infected and they'll go and they'll bring medications and if they are licensed, if it's the right appropriate thing, they'll bring shots for them and help them. But one of the things that we used to always try to do is get socks to give to the nurses so they could, when they fix the feet and wrap them, they could put them in clean socks. So that might be a good connection for you with the students and the people that you use.
Thank you for that. And Rhonda, you're making a point that's really significant in the aspect that the number one clothing we put on homeless is socks, and the number one thing that helps to prevent their going to the hospital. Because the thing that takes them to the hospital are those foot issues you just talked about. And there's many people who lose toes, they lose their life.
Yes.
And so that's a big part of what we do is we're helping to really keep people out of the hospital.
Yeah. Because that infection is so terrific.
Mm-hmm.
And what can cause that is frankly the rot they get when they have wet and dirty, filthy socks.
Trench foot.
Trench foot.
Yeah.
So-
Let's talk about something a little bit more positive than trench foot.
Well, this is all positive because you're helping to stop it.
I
You know,
know
getting
that.
them out of the trenches.
But so what the heck? Everyone listening's like, what did you do as background for this? Like, did you study how to make a difference in the world? Like, what was your background that got you ready that when this big idea came to you, you could take action?
Well, to me, one of those aspects to be able to take action is being able to have those skills, which are emotional intelligence skills, the EQ skills to be able to be determined, to hang in there, to persevere. And so that's one of the areas I've been interested in. I used to teach life management skills in corporations. And everybody kept saying, I should have learned this as a child. And I thought, yes. And I created a program called I Believe in Me, which is for preschoolers that teaches emotional intelligence to preschoolers. Little did I know that those skills that I also learned as a child from a phenomenal mother, my EQ skills, that when this idea came to me, so like many of the people out there, when you have an idea to do something, and you think, I can't do it, I'm just one person, right? That you do have those skills. You have those skills, those internal skills of how to hang in there and to believe in yourself. And you keep pulling yourself up and to use networks like this. That's what this is all about. What you're all about is putting a message out there to all the people out there.
Right.
And so use your friends, use those platforms, use the networks and say, hey, I need a lawyer, or I need someone who, I don't know anything about a nonprofit. Do you know anything? And just use those resources. And I use those skills.
That connection and not being afraid to use it again
Yes.
is kind of coming through
Yeah.
everybody today. When was your path particularly? What did you learn from it?
So with the socks, what it is that to really persevere and to go out there to ask other people. There were moments where you start something and it snowballs. So for Phyllis and I, Phyllis Shimamoto and myself are the founders, that it snowballs so fast. And I can't tell you what it's like when you have 18,000 pairs of socks in your house that you've collected from people that we call sock ambassadors. And I was exhausted. And I had to, again, pull on those deep skills to realize those people experiencing homelessness, and it's bitter cold, they don't care how tired I am. I have to call upon that reserve and also take care of my own health, take care of me, so I could take care of other people.
I've seen those socks in your garage, and especially when a Bombas shipment comes in.
Bombas, yeah.
Because Bombas, I know, gives you socks, and that's a wonderful one of your great sponsors, and a beautiful, beautiful sock company. And I know when the Bombas guy comes, your cars are outside.
Yes.
And you also were at the Bronco game collecting socks a few weeks ago.
Yeah. So we've partnered with the Bronco alumni, and we do the Kids for
That's
Kids
awesome for
program.
just this little thing that started in your head.
And how many socks to date?
That's great.
410,000 pairs of socks and over 40
So how can people donate or find out more?
Well, there's two things that they can do. One, we want people to become sock ambassadors. So they can go onto our website, which that's going to be posted, sockcampaign.org, and become a sock ambassador, which they collect socks whenever they want, or as long as they want. And then we get them and we take them out to where they are needed. And then people can actually financially, of course, donate. We always need capital to be able to do our operation. And so people can do that as well over our website.
Great. Thank you. And then we have a couple of those.
So we'd like to have you say your global statement to women of the world. So, there's so much about you with your EQ work and kids and your books and your program about to go global and so many great things you do. So what is your global statement to women of the world?
My global statement is life is short. We do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who walk with us. So be quick to love and make haste to be kind.
Hey, make haste to be kind. That's a t-shirt. I'm making a t-shirt, make haste to be kind. All right, you get to do our pick a card.
That's right.
Go
Here we
fish.
go.
I kind of like go fish. And run a cube all together, but it's really just answer a question.
What's your question?
Oh,
You
if you could have one designer create a special outfit for you, whom would you choose? A designer?
Yeah,
I don't know the names of any. So if
I
there's
go to
anyone
Target.
out there who is a designer who would like to design something for me, I choose you.
I would say someone colorful and great.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well,
I wouldn't know the name of the designer.
I don't know.
That's a hard one for me too. I go
I'll
to Target.
pick another one.
Okay, pick another one.
You gotta be a fashionista for that.
Just for fun. If you had to spend the rest of your life at one age, which age would that be?
Wow.
The age I am right now.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Well,
right.
32.
I know,
Looks so
32.
good on you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Well, Sue has got a lasting impact on all of us in the Camp Experience Network and all of us at Boost Power Radio. So grateful for you to share yourself. We know you're coming back. We've got you on the calendar multiple times because so many exciting things are happening with the program. And
She's got socks with her. So we're
Like a
gonna,
socket too.
and what I love is Sue sometimes gives our committee socks, and when we pull up and we see a homeless person, we can
hand
roll
them
down
out.
the window and we hand them in. And that is so impactful during this
And it's
holiday
much better than
season.
giving money because that doesn't help them as much as you would believe. So it's much better to have a pair of socks than $1 some waters.
Yes. Well, we know you're coming back and love to listen to you and for all the lifetime impact you have. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
for
you,
everything did.
ladies.
Thank you.
See, and everyone on the radio is listening and saying, "Wow,
What a
Becky and
show.
Rhonda,
We're just kicking. We just got everybody. We're kicking Be Kind today. Like
we're
I said.
kicking Be Kind today." And I know what you're thinking. It's like, how did you get with so many great people? But I think the key is we hang out, like we were talking about networks. We hang out with people that kick Be Kind.
We do. We like to hang out with people that, I like to hang out with people that, I don't have to be great. I just stand by them. It looks like I'm doing all this stuff.
Now, Rhonda, I gotta say though, your work with Camp Wapiapi is incredible. And when I heard that Delta Dental had awarded you, I mean,
I
it was
know.
a big deal. That
It
was
was
no
a huge deal.
easy thing because the employees got to vote.
Well, they nominate you as well. We were nominated by an employee, and then we were chosen, and we ended up getting a substantial grant, and we're also up for another grant. So they're great. It's a great organization, and it was that way before. I mean, everybody would give money to Wapiapi, and what a great organization. So appreciate it. And the Listen Foundation was on last week, and we had their fundraiser.
Yes, and how did that go?
That went fantastic. We raised about $20,000 more than the goal. So
Wow.
yeah, it was a great event, and the kids did great. The kids spoke for themselves, and we got to see how their donations were spent. So,
Well, I'm so happy to know that kids that might be born with the inability to hear can actually affect their entire outcome of their life from the work of the Listen Foundation.
and they were on last week, and of course, we always talk about Camp Wapiapi. So those are. I have a heart for children, and I think there's so many wonderful causes, but where I like to spend my time is with those organizations that work with our young kids that really just need a good start in life, and that's why I love Wapiapi, because it keeps getting back into childhood. So that goes by too quick, doesn't it? And you got to wait a whole lot of years to get your second childhood, like we are.
And do everything you want to do, and have a crazy radio show where you let people plug into great things.
We've got what's on our calendar that we're going to talk about.
Well, first I want to say, look how cute I am today. So I'm going to give
You are
Henry a
cute.
full 7 seconds because that's how long the camera takes to see how cute I am today. But we had that shopping event at Mainstream Boutique.
Did you get that?
I did. I got this.
Cute.
And it's in it, it was a great price.
Mhm.
I'm just saying. And I also got this really cute necklace there. And so I think
That's cool too.
I can be styling in any
Sure.
moment. But this is a good color for my skin color and my hair, and it just
Did they
kind
pick
of
that
looks
out, the color? Did
They
tell you
did.
that?
So when you go to Mainstream Boutique in Aurora, which is like Allura, but it's
Mhm.
Aurora, or when you go down to Castle Pine, there are stylists and people that work there really help you, get something that's going to be really useful. So I thought this would be good for the show today. But we kind of have the fall.
Oh yeah, we
The
did.
fall
We got the
color
fall
thing.
thing going. Look at this.
I know.
Match my little.
And I do match your leggings. So we had the fall shopping. The next one is December 6th, and everyone's invited. And the secret, don't tell the world, but she gave us a big discount that night for everyone that was there. Like
You just told the
15%.
world.
Oh yeah. Okay, but just only tell people you like. So it's highly likely.
Only people that are nice can come.
It's highly likely if you're nice and you want a deal, December 6th, you can come to
Oh,
Mainstream Boutique. And what I love though, it's
That's
owned
cool.
by Dawn Johnson, and
Right.
she is a women business owner.
Dawn is
So when you are shopping anywhere and you know your dollars are not going to some big corporation, some big boss, it is a woman in the trenches with a daughter and a husband, and she's doing the best she can, and she's helping the school, and she's helping the firemen.
It's so cute.
I was thinking it's the girl that wears it. It's cute, and it reflects on the stuff.
Oh, that's true.
I'm
That's
kidding.
true. That's true too.
Her stuff is so cute. But it's very affordable and really good quality. So Mainstream Boutique, I wanted to highlight
And it's
that.
kind of unique. You won't walk down the street and see everybody else in the same thing as well. So
Yeah, so
especially if you're
that's-
going out to an event or something where you don't just look, want to walk in and find people in the same dress on.
Yeah, it's fun. So we also had a little trunk show. So we had Touchstone jewelry. So again, I'll give you a 7-second rule. But this beautiful, blingy, fun jewelry. This is also from Mainstream. This little very quick. But again, really nice gifts as we're thinking about the holiday season because that's coming. The holiday
I
season.
know it is. It's some great gifts. And you can also make gifts to the charities that are here today in names of your family members because sometimes we just have too many gifts.
I really believe that the gift of our time and the gift of our network,
Mm-hmm.
because helping to get the word out about the SOC Ambassador Program is
United
something
Way.
any business can do. It's free, and there's no you have to do so many. You can just say to your employees, to your clients, bring socks,
Bring socks.
new socks, men, women, and children. And then we like to tie that back into Goodwill because that's another part of the Camp Experience Network.
Love
And
Goodwill.
what about October and Goodwill? What did we learn last
Well, we
show?
went through and we actually made a video, which will be ready for next time, of us shopping at Goodwill. And what we learned was that there were some tremendous deals. I mean, oh my gosh, there was some designer jeans and it was 50% off day and they were like $7. And then I got a leather jacket. I shouldn't say this because my daughter is. Well, I got this really cool leather jacket.
Christmas present, holiday
And
present.
it was a $5 that was on sale for $2.50. And
How about $5 for a white leather coat? I
it's
must say.
amazing looking too. And then there was the unicorn. We found the unicorn.
We found like a $300 piece that we're going to surprise Denise Plant. Again, another
Yeah,
surprise.
okay, now we ruined it.
Listen, we're going to surprise our friend Denise Plant with. That's her size and like a $300 thing, and it was half of $5.
Yeah, it was $2.50.
But we have to say October now is the big month for Goodwill for your Halloween costumes, and they have new costumes and usable things for anything you cook up to be.
Yeah, and the costumes are great. I was in there and they had all kinds of some are new, some masks and things like that. Some are used, but they have, and not only they have regular costumes you can buy, but you can put costumes together with the clothing. So you can go in. My daughter used to shop Goodwill when she was in theater at Nevada West. They'd go to Goodwill and they would get the clothes for the plays that they were in.
Yeah, so the other things on our plug-in calendar, we really want to keep telling you about TEDx Cherry Creek Women.
Oh, yes.
That is run by our two friends, Daphne Michelson Janae and Christy Bells. And there's incredible speakers. One in particular is Pat Jacks.
I love her.
And Pat is a motorcycle mama. I'm
She's
going to
a
call her.
motorcycle. I'm going to go for a ride with her. She invited me to do it.
Oh,
I
my
used to have
gosh.
motorcycles. I don't know.
I went on a motorcycle ride with Pat, and I saw my life pass before me because I really trusted her. And she took me on a dirt trail. She took me on gravel. She took me up a mountainside.
I'm going to rip my own and drive my own.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, she is going to speak about her life in finding herself in
Yes.
motorcycle. And so she's one of just many, many speakers. And tickets are on sale right now at TEDxCherryCreek.com. Also, we have a full month of November of the Camp Experience networking events, which are always free.
Oh my gosh, they're always free and they're great and they're open to anybody. Anybody can join. We're inclusive.
We're inclusive of all, and you can find those on campexperience.com. But just to highlight, we have this thing called Coffee and Conversations. So Laura Stewart runs that. She brings delicious coffee and tea and snacks. But it's a deeper dive into networking. So you really have a conversation with a new friend. Last month, Someone said, I saw your car on I-25 North, and I followed the website, and I found this event.
Well, that's great.
I know.
How can you miss your car?
Well, my car is a little bit,
It's like, it's got the logo, it's got flowers.
it's branded.
Yeah, it's definitely branded.
It is a global
Cute.
statement to women in a driving vehicle
Yes,
called
it's-
Love and Flowers and Camp Experience Network. So don't miss that. And then the Turkey Trot, Mile High United Way. My husband and daughter and I actually did this last year. We did the 5K, and I think we were the third to last. But
I
it
did
was
one
fun.
once, it was last, dead last.
Well, maybe you'll do this with us. Well, maybe we'll do a
It'd be
live
fun,
show, a
wouldn't it?
segment. Yeah, but the Turkey Trot for Mile High United Way is really fun. That is on the 22nd of November from 7 a.m. to 10, so you're done by noon, super fun. And then, of course, the children's party that Carla told us about is December 8th from 9 to 2, the holiday party. And you can donate gifts right now, or you can come be a volunteer, which is a lot of fun.
And so, please remember the children if you get until this time of season, but not just this time of season, all year long, because there are so many, many, many children in our area that go to bed hungry, that go without lunch, that need gifts at Christmas, or Hanukkah, or just gifts.
Kwanzaa. All of the above.
All of the above. We love them all.
Rhonda, it's my favorite time.
Is it reflection?
Reflection.
I don't make glasses. You didn't say anything.
Okay, I think those glasses are
Wonderful.
darling. They're great. They're great.
You know, because I couldn't see.
Well, there was that. You know, it's running the board and you couldn't see it caused a nightmare in me. But I must say, we love the reflection segment. So, what is it, Rhonda, that you really feel you learned from our guest today?
Well, I loved the idea that Sue was just in the grocery store, an idea hit her, and she had enough faith in herself and enough courage to ask other people to help her, and just ran with it. And so that stuck out with me. And of course, Helen, I just love her style of leadership, and the things that Delta Dental and learning more about their broad initiatives was kind of eye-opening.
Now, I really see the style points in all three of our guests,
Yes,
right?
yes.
You had Helen, who's, a major CEO woman running the top insurance company in the state of Colorado, and talking about being vulnerable and asking for help, right? And just being herself in the interview, being herself. You saw the same thing with Carla, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Who has body art and colored hair and has this wild, fun-free personality, right? And then Sue is just a dynamo. I mean, that she thought of an idea in a grocery store and just what the
Just
heck?
ran with it. Okay, let's do it.
What the heck did it? We have donated 4,000 pairs of socks for the Camp Experience Network this year.
Wow.
And we were able to give them over $10,000 cash. And we're the first people really, a big donor for them to give them cash. And she was telling me that because they're a smaller charity, it's hard for them to access, like Colorado Gifts Day.
That's right.
If you don't have 50,000, I don't know about Camp Wapi Api, but if you don't have 50,000 in donations, you can't be in Colorado Gifts Day where the bigger charities access.
Well, we're actually in Colorado Gifts Day because we're a little bit bigger than that. We're not a huge charity, but we're big enough to do
Nice.
that, which is, by the way, December 4th. And if you want to make a gift, you
Yeah.
can go online starting November 1st.
We'll talk
And
about
we'll
that
talk
in our
about that.
November shows because that's a really important way because we're all about giving back. So I think we need to do our thing, right?
We do. Let's do it. I get to pick a card. Betsy's got to figure it out.
I have to put on, remember those old TV shows somebody had that, Johnny Carson,
We could do it like
put
this.
a hat on?
What am I thinking?
What are you thinking? Okay. But now I can see what the quote is.
I know. I did that because you can't read my mind.
Oh, there you go. What is the quote today?
The only real elegance is in the mind. How perfect what we were just talking about.
We're
Who
talking
said
about it
that?
all starts
Only
in the
real
mind.
elegance is in the mind.
It must be Helen Keller.
No. It's Diana Vreeland.
Okay.
Vreeland.
Vreeland.
It's probably somebody from another country.
Diana Vreeland.
Vreeland. From Scotland.
She could be. Well, so I'm going to give a little preview that I happen to be traveling for the next show, so you all might be missing me, but I'm going to Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I have 2 interviews set up with international people. It's going to be so fun. So Maria is going to be on, and Maria's going to talk about working with kids around the world on A+ World Academy and helping kids be future leaders. And then I'm going to talk to my new friend that I met in Norway. And Belinda is the largest importer of fake Christmas trees. Really? Go figure. So she has them manufactured in China. She imports them into Norway. She's also building an amusement park.
Oh, that's really cool.
I know. So these are super cool
You're
women.
going to go to, where are you going?
Argentina, Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires.
Yes.
Yeah,
well, Buenos Aires is
and I'm
in
going to
Argentina.
Aurora and Broomfield. This just isn't right.
Yes, I'm going to have a little different
This isn't
trip
right.
than you. But it is right because we are a global sisterhood network and we are Boost Power
Oh,
Radio
sure, I'll be sitting
for
here.
all of you around the world. So if you're a cool woman and you want to be interviewed, we want to know you.
Yes.
So reach out to us on Boost Power Radio either on our Facebook page and please like us.
Yeah, and like
We're
us,
at
love us.
250
Not in a
likes.
stocky way. We don't like stalkers.
So unstock like us on Boost Power Radio on Facebook, and please go to boostpowerradio.com. You can find our archives there. You can get them in a podcast format. But we just want to serve you. That's what this show is all about.
That's right. We're going to get back to the music right here on KUHSdenver.com in just a couple of minutes, and we want to say goodbye. And thank you for joining us. This has been Boost Power Radio.
And see you next time.
See you next time. Whoops. See that? I tried to be cool and do it right, but I screwed it up. See you next time.
Betsy and Rhonda signing out. You're out. Oh, what a great show. Good one.
I'm on it.